All right, guys, I believe I'm live. It's a great day to be alive and to live in one of these free countries like America. And thanks for joining me. And I want to update you on the economy and the upcoming crash that we're already in. Actually, we've been in for about a year, but slowly is pushing out to the normal media like the newspapers and CNN and NBCs. Okay. What I want to talk about first is the real estate part of it, because I'm a real estate guy and I'm sure you guys are too. For example, when I was traveling to different countries in America in the past 2 years, one thing I really realized is that there's no affordable homes. What do I mean by that? Let's take Las Vegas, for example. When I was in Las Vegas, and there was a lot of homes $300,000 and above. Okay, Las Vegas is a fairly cheap state like Texas, where you can buy a house for 150. Okay, you can't do that in California, but I know, but it's not like California. It's a fairly cheap state. So Las Vegas, there was lots of home of $300,000 and above, a lot of homes. Okay, and there was hardly any homes of $150,000 range. Okay, and going up a little bit and going down. Those once one of those affordable homes hit the market, it was taken up. And if you look at the houses that are 300,000 and above, which is a pretty decent home in Las Vegas, they're sitting on the market forever. Okay, same thing in Texas. Okay, before you can go on the outskirts of, for example, Dallas, or you can go to Austin, Texas, or you can go to so many different places, for example, Denton, and you can get a very affordable newer home for like 120, 130, 150, and you're having a good place. When I say a good home, I mean front yard, backyard, brand new custom built homes, and you can get that. Now those same exact areas, okay, those same homes. How do I know? I used to own a house in Sanger, which was outside of Denton. Denton was the University of UNT, and right outside of Sanger, 15 minutes away. That same house has gone up in property value so much. Now, let me talk about some people that I know, family members that won and bought houses on the outskirts, which was called at that time Little Elm, Frisco, which wasn't developed yet. And they bought a home for 150. That same home has gone up over $150,000 in a very short period of time. Okay, so let's look at this one example I just said. A family member of mine bought a house in the last crash, right before it crashed, 2006, 2005. They bought a house. It crashed. They were negative. People around the area were just walking away from their homes because they were upside down. Not him. Okay, I remember telling him, hey man, there's a lot of people we can do subject to deals to, and you know half of your neighbors. Bring those deals to me and we'll figure it out. But he didn't. A couple of days ago, we're at family gathering and we're talking, and he said that his house has gone up over $150,000, and he had wished that he would God with me because like his neighbor had a loan of $90,000 and just walked away from it because the house were upside down in 2006. Now in 2019, his house is exploding. There's no more space around the area because everyone came to that outskirts to develop. Now all those houses are like 250, 300 minimum, where when he bought his house it was like 140, 120, somewhere around there. Okay, that's why he went to the outskirts. So the point is, a couple of things. This economy has created a great separation of people that have and people that don't have. Okay. Two, there's going to be a significant amount of demand for rental properties and home fix and flippers and stuff for the non-affordable homes because they're just really not out there. You got to keep going out and out if you can do that. Some states you can't even do that. Okay. Now let's go talk about the stocks. Okay, before I forget, go ahead and click the like buttons, guys, and leave a comment. What state are you in? I'm very curious. Or what country are you in? Okay, and let's share this message. Okay, now let's talk about the stock market. On Friday, the stocks were bloody, 460 points down, guys. 460. Please understand that we are like this. This is a ship, and man, the thing is just moving sideways. Now it kind of goes up and it kind of comes down and it kind of goes up and wild mood swings. Okay. And I believe that there's definitely a stock ghostbusters out there that they go in there when it gets red and they buy stocks. Okay. Those ghostbuster stocks, guys, go in there and just prop it up, keep propping it up. Now, which brings me to why do corporations want to prop up their stocks? Why would corporations want to borrow free money almost? Okay, like seriously, there's free money almost at all-time low. We never had interest rate this low in the history of America. Get free money, buy their own stocks to increase their stock price. Why would they want to do that? Let's think about it, guys. I don't know, man. I'm not the smartest guy around, but I can tell you that well, the CEOs and top management will get big bonuses, significant bonuses when the business is doing good, right? So guess what? Those are the guys that are controlling the airplane and deciding, you know what, we're going to get some free money and we're going to go buy our stocks. Okay. The other thing is that let's talk about debt. Everyone has debt, from the actual people, extremely debt, to the gurus, like all these gurus. Like, man, when I used to grow up, I used to like love Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and I still do. No disrespect. And a lot of the stuff I agree with them, but on the stuff of like just getting into debt and just using debt to make money and stuff, just doesn't make any sense to me. Now you can dance with the devil and play their game, but I'm trying to be a free man. I'm not trying to be indebted to anyone. If at any case, I want people to be indebted to me through owner financing. I buy a house, I just take over the payments, and I become the bank, and I create a new note, and I give it to some guy that can't get a loan, but he has 20, 40 grand to throw down because he has a successful business. So I don't mind that guy to get indebted to me, because that's a win-win situation for me and for that guy, right? That's what I meant. Nothing negative, but just to go into get into debt to get ahead doesn't make any sense. And that's the problem with America, and they fooled the whole world, because in America we used to be strong. We used to produce shit, right? We don't produce anything no more, man, right? I tell you what we produce. There's two things we produce in America. Okay, people ain't gonna love what I'm gonna say now, right? We produce debt. Wall Street comes up with all this clever instruments, basically debt, to enslave not only Americans, all over people of the world. For example, the last crash was mortgage-backed securities, right? Like they let people that shouldn't be able to borrow money, subprime, packaged it up, sold it on Wall Street, all over investors all over the world, right? See, clever instruments. Okay, so in America, we do two things good now. We don't produce anymore. It's none of that stuff, right? We come up with clever instruments to get people into debt. Wall Street does that. And the second thing we produce really good is sales. We have the world's best sales. Everyone wants to be a salesman. They're training you how to be sales. Man, you know what I think about sales? And I've been doing sales since high school, right? Sales is evil. Sales is pathetic. It's the devil, right? Sales is making people do stuff that they don't want to do or they don't need. It doesn't always have to be like that, right? But overall, car dealers want to sell, furniture stores want to sell, T-Mobile wants to sell, AT&T, everyone and their mama just spends a lot of time and energy selling people, right? And that's the two things we produce: good salesmen, and people around the world want to copy our salesmanship and debt production, right? Now people all over around the world, all countries, trying to copy the debt production so they could boost their economy, but really not realizing it's just fake. I mean, that's why you have so much separation. You have that 1% that owns majority of everything. Okay, so it's just theater. At the simplest word I can say is just theater. That you think you're free, but you're not. Right. I know people are not gonna love what I just say about that. Now they're gonna say, "Hey, Mike, well, there's good debt and bad debt," and I totally agree. But what I'm saying is, you can use this. You start where you stand, right, and be your dreams. Yep, it'll be hard. Yep, you have to make some sacrifices. Yep, you might have to sleep on an air mattress. Yep, you may not be looking the freshest. Yep, you might not be pushing the car you want. Yep, you may not live in the biggest houses you want or you can afford. Yep, you got to sacrifice. See, but the other option is to stick your hand out and get money from someone, right? And have them be your master. No matter how you think about it, that's the reality of it, man. Okay, and it's not the coolest thing, right? The coolest thing is, go to college, get into debt, and blah blah blah. Or corporations borrow so much money they don't make good products. Chevy, Ford, why do you think they're going under? Why do you think they're not making good products? Because the focus on making something good, changing someone's life, is gone away. It's all about selling the next model, selling 2.1, 2.3, selling the next version. See, the whole energy attention is to manipulate people through all kinds of sales tactics: push, pull, expiration, limited amount, just to sell people, right? The whole thing, from AT&T to Ross to your guru, right, to the school system, versus actually providing something that's going to change someone's life and let them be their dreams, right? You can't do that when you're in debt. You got to pay the man. Anyways, let's move forward to why, what's going on with gold, because so many people are in debt, right? Gold is at 13, almost 25, 13, 18 a few minutes ago before I went live. Okay, so gold is going up. So what I betted on in 2016, a lot of people getting into real estate. I say, you know what, 2016, I'm not getting into real estate no more. Things about the bust. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't pinpoint the day, nor do I want to. I'm just a human. And that's where I have power. I can listen. I can look at the street. I don't have to look at no charts. I can look at the streets and look everywhere I go and see they're building, apartment building houses. And guess what? They're not building any affordable homes. They're just building expensive homes, right? And I can see that people are just borrowing. I can see corporations borrowing. I can see government borrowing. It doesn't, I don't need no charts for that, right? So gold's going up. Now, where's Bitcoins? Guys, Mt. Gox, okay, the first exchange. It seems like all the legality aspect of that thing is over. For some of you guys didn't know, it was just like a guy starting out. He created an exchange where people could turn their fiat dollars into Bitcoin and other cryptos. It was just a guy, entrepreneur, didn't know much, and he got hacked, and millions of people's dollars got stolen, and then litigation, and now where they're at is that they're going to release the money to people. All right. So I think that if people start selling those coins, then you're going to see Bitcoin come back down, because it's just a supply and demand thing. Because at that time, Bitcoin was like $1, $50 or less. Okay, not even 50, right? So when someone put $100 in, they got 100 Bitcoins. So these people have some coins, even though a lot of them have lost money because of hacks and stuff like that, and the way the market is. So if these people dump, then we see Bitcoin go back down. I don't need a chart for that. I mean, it's just common sense. I'm sure a lot of them will dump because they've been abused, molested in a sense with their money, with their emotions, and sure they're gonna want to dump and get out of it, right? I don't think all of them, but I think majority of them. So I think Rice is going to go back down. But in my personal opinion, not financial advice, I'm also bidding into cryptocurrencies. Okay, uh, and I know that's going to be the future, in my opinion. Okay, not financial advice. Why do I think that? Well, let's quickly run through some of the things that I've seen in Bitcoin. Samsung coming up with their own Bitcoin blockchain cell phone, guys. Samsung, millions and millions of people use it. Okay, Fidelity getting to Bitcoin custodies. Okay, let me remind you, Fidelity. These guys are the ones that are talking shit on TV about how no one's going to believe in cryptos. This thing doesn't work. Okay, Goldman Sachs creating their own custody. These custodies are for the ultra rich families. Okay, JP Morgan, they've already created their own Ethereum based silver crypto, but at the same time, they've created their own cryptocurrency called JP Coin. Okay, um, there's Harvard, if I'm not mistaken, and Yale pensions already invested in cryptocurrencies. There's more pensions like retirements, police officers, and stuff like that are getting into it slowly but surely. We're seeing more institution, okay, get into the business with, for example, the New York Exchange, ICE. They're creating their cryptocurrency exchange, which is pretty powerful. I mean, you're looking at one of the top stock guys now. They're getting into crypto. It's like, think about it. Like, it's like, what, they already have a whole empire monopoly on that. Why are they getting into this? So these guys were smart people, and they got tons of money, right? All right. Now another good thing is, like, for example, Visa. It was very funny. They first came out that, oh, crypto suck, Bitcoin suck, these things suck. Now it's been revealed that they're hiring their own IT guys to build their own infrastructure, right? All right. So I see through my research and due diligence that the guys they're making the money, the 1%ers, talking smack about it on TV, but behind the scenes they're trying to hire people. They're starting their own coins. They're starting their own custody, etc. Now, what is a custody? A custody is, well, in cryptocurrencies, you get freedom. You don't need a middleman like a banker, right? And so with that freedom comes responsibility, right? Like, if you're an entrepreneur, right, you have the time to decide the freedom. Like, I'm free to do whatever I want. No one tells me what to do. I have to somehow have an internal clock, what I call a ticker, to tell me I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, do this, do this, do this, right? And same thing with Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies. You're your own boss. You have all the freedom plus all the liabilities and responsibilities on yourself. So if you lose your private keys, right? A private key is where your money, basically, right? Then there's no one to call, like Bank of America or Wells Fargo, like, hey, where's my money? There's no one. You're in total control. You're your own master, right? So it's so powerful. So a custody solution is, they're going to be the babysitter. They're going to become the middleman, so they hold your private keys. Simply put, guys. Okay. Now, we talked about the housing market. There's hardly any more affordable houses. Just expensive homes. We talked about gold. It's going up. Okay. We talked about cryptocurrencies. I think it's going to come down in the short term. I don't have a crystal ball, but I know that end of the day, these things are going to go up. For example, Bitcoin. Right? I mean, right now, Bitcoin is just set up to be like the gold. It has changed mission, changed rail. It used to be a peer-to-peer transaction. That's why there was a fork, Bitcoin Cash. Okay. But it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be the protocol of like how you do emails, like pop-up threes or STMP or HTTP, etc. Guys, these are the laying foundation that everything else is going to get on top of it, right? Like you use emails, it's the laying foundation, and then the vertical is you can do so many different things. You can use emails for lead generation, you can do emails for newsletters, you can do emails, so many different aspects. Okay, same thing with telecommunication. First came the landline, for example, then came the pager, right? A lot of people forgot about the pager. It was the pager that brought in the cell phones, right? The big old cell phones you carry on your shoulder, right? And then from that into what we have today, to iPhones, and then iPads, and they're getting smaller and smaller. Okay, so a couple of news before I forget, guys. If you're interested in doing real estate in your backyard and you're new and you don't have a pile of cash, right, then you should get into my profit coaching program. Go to MrNoFluff.com to get more information about it. And the profit coaching, you don't need a pile of cash. You don't have to pay me 25 grand or 50 grand like a lot of other people do. Okay, we'll just split the profits on the deal. So I'll help you with your deal. Once you make money, I make money. Pretty simple, guys. Okay, to get more information about it, go to MrNoFluff.com, or better yet, go to profitsharing.MrNoFluff.com. Okay. The other thing is that if you want to rub elbows with me one-on-one and you need more advanced help, then you should definitely join my mastermind. My mastermind, you can find it on MrNoFluff.com. It's called the Abundance Club. We meet every Saturday, 1 hour. I help you do deals, and you should learn more about it and join for sure at MrNoFluff.com. Thanks for watching. Hustle and bustle. Don't take no for an answer. See you guys.